Sorry about that, folks. You know, you do everything you can to try and get this show as ready as possible. And sound is sounding weird. All right, you guys hearing me? Okay, this thing is like, now I'm starting to get freaked out here. What the heck is going on? I don't know. Now I'm getting very worried. No, that's working right. That's working right. Okay. And now, wait just a minute. Just a minute, madam. Madam, I am trying to get myself looking presentable for my audience. Okay, the sound is fine. Very good. Thank you very much. I'm sorry about that, folks. You do everything you can to try and get ready for these live streams. And wait a minute. Now I think I know what's wrong. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Now I know exactly what's wrong with this. Give me a second here. I'm with you. I haven't gone anywhere. Really? I'm still here. Good God, this show is off the rails before we even get started. This is terrible. My God, I'm running late. The sound's not coming through the computer the way it should. I'm doing everything I can to make myself presentable for my audience. It's just terrible. Hi, how are you doing? Hello, how are you doing out there in internet land? My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative, and welcome to Chattin On The Porch, the already off the rails, down the rabbit hole version of this thing I do Monday through Thursday nights. We are on Rumble, we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube. So please, if for no other reason than to take pity on this poor fool, would you please subscribe to my channel? I know, subjecting this on other people, inflicting me upon other people after watching this opening performance may be more than you think they ought to take or they deserve. But you know what? It's my channel and I'm trying to grow it. So please share the link around. Tell your friends to subscribe. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. No, and there goes the music. You're seriously? We're already, geez, oh Pete. Like I said, this one's already off the rails. Just completely off the rails. Okay, my God, it's just terrible. Just plain terrible. Oh, God. I mean, never again will I ever take a lunch break because it completely fouls me up at work as far as getting home to work on this channel. And I didn't think it was going to do it. I really didn't. Crazy. How are you guys doing tonight? It's Monday. And as you can tell, the week is already off to a not exactly, out of the gate start. God, let's see who all's here tonight so far. Good evening, Miss Gypsy. Yes, after midnight tonight, 7 days. 7 days indeed. Indeed, young lady. And first of all, mwah, to you. Z Highness is in the house. America. That's right, daggone it. Now, has to bootify himself. Oh my God. Now, look, you really want to know what I was trying to do? I mean, I will tell you. Look, I may not be the most handsome devil that ever graced the internet, and I may not have the fanciest clothes or what have you. However, I do think, somebody should try in their own way, to the extent that they wish to do so, make yourself presentable for your audience. So what I was doing, I was trying to, as quickly as possible, was to shave, because I hadn't shaved in a couple or 3 days and I wanted to look good for you guys. So that's what I was trying to do. Wait a minute. Really? You're going to go here? You're going to go here, Rhonda. Seriously. Oh my goodness. Listen, I love Mike Harlow. Mike Harlow is like a brother to me. Okay. I love him dearly. But however, that boy does more primping and what the hell ever he does, which I don't even know what the hell he does, but I know he does it. Okay. It's like shave the face, make sure you ain't got grease on you, get in front of the camera. Mike is all about, okay, eyeliner, blush, have I got enough concealer? Is that, he's crazy. I love him. I love that boy. But no, by no means am I any kind of a Mike Harlow wannabe. Now, Mike is in a class unto himself, and I truly mean that, half jokingly, but in total truth. He's awesome. Genuinely, he is. Let's see who else is here. Lowry's in the house. Boom, my brother. Fist bump to you. Let's see who else be here. Yeah, it's definitely a manic Monday already. Let's see. Adam's in the house. Adam, are you from Great Britain? I keep thinking that you are, but I want to make sure about this. Are you from Great Britain? I know that Jardam is, but I just want to make sure my getting all my British representations taken care of. So, there you go. Let's see. See who else is here. Adam's in the house. Am I missing anybody? Rhonda is here. That was not meant to be negative. Oh, well, thank you, my dear. Thank you. Well, yes, I will always try to beautify. So you are from the British Isles. All right, very good then. But you're living in Trinidad. Well, the mercies of God upon you, my son. That's all I'm saying. Oh, goodness. Yes. Yeah, I will always try to look good for you guys, if and at all possible. All right. Let's go talk to the Wingnuts. Let's see. WWG1 is here, and yes, WWG1, all your links have come through, my brother. So while I'm thinking about it right now, let me grab these bad boys and see what mischief you have made, sir. Ah, yes. Okay, I know what that one is. That one's from Saturday, and per my request, you put it up tonight. So thank you for sending that over again. That might be saved for the Nightcap. That one's from Saturday. What else have we got here? Let's see. Yada, yada, yada. Ah, okay. That's a good one. That's a new one. All right. Thank you, sir, for that. What else have you got for me? Okay. Yeah. 2 of these are going to the front. 2 of them I am saving for the Nightcap. Okay. Thank you, WWG1. Appreciate that. Lots of buffering too, but it's not something that I can control. Hello, Portrait. Hello, TBA. Good to have you here. Lunch is for suckers, says WWG1. Well, apparently it is for me. Let's see. He also says we don't have to smell. Oh, vision, no need of shower. Well, now, look, I understand all that, but I'm just saying, I'm look, I think that I owe you guys at least the appearance of looking like a presentable human being. That's just me. Different live streamers do it different ways, so I get it. You had campaigners at the door? Oh my goodness, really? Really? Were they the kind of campaigners you wanted to see or not so much? Just asking, And if you don't want to answer that, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. Sean is here. Oh, and I tell you what, before we even get started, in earnest, I got to thank Sean. We had a great time on his channel Saturday night. He sent me a message, I don't know, probably about sometime late afternoon. He said, "You do anything this evening?" I was like, "Oh, nothing in particular. Why you ask?" "Come on the channel tonight." I'm like, "All right, what time you want to do it?" 10 o'clock. I'm like, "Okay." And he and Chris from My Morning Mayhem and I sat around for a few hours, just sharing various stories, memes, etc. that we found, and it was a load of fun. And I want to thank Sean so very much for the invitation. It was very gracious of him. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. And brother, like I say, anytime you want me back on, let me know. And like I say, you're always welcome here as well. No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, for my part, I wanted to look presentable for you guys, so I was in there trying to shave. And good evening, Miss Tracy. Mwah. Which, by the way, another thing, Tracy was on her channel Friday night reviewing The Three Musketeers and The Man in the Iron Mask. Go over to Tracy's channel, watch the reviews. There was a load of fun talking about those movies with her. So just check out her channel, subscribe to her. And I saw him here a minute ago. The the professor's in the house, and the professor took a run up into Penn State country on Saturday for a Trump rally. And I mean, his channel is his channel, but I'm sure we'll be hearing reports from him about how all that went. And he was messaging some of us through Twitter, and he said, man, lots of energy, lots of passion. He said, very inspiring all the way around. And we're going to get to one of the inspiring things that happened over the weekend, which, man, talk about kicking off the last week of a campaign. Woo, baby. We're going to be talking about that, among other things. So let us now, having survived my discombobulation here at the beginning of the show, let's go ahead and get this party started in earnest with the Merry Memes section of the show. Okay. Whoa. Wait a minute. Before I even do that, guys, the Porch Hounds have absolutely been at work this weekend, okay? They have cracked a major story. I'm not sure that anybody else, and I may be doing this for the first time here on social media, okay? The Porch Hounds got a hold of a piece of information, and they passed it on to me. I've got to bring it to you, my audience. It's official. Kamala is going on Joe Rogan. That's right. That's right. It's no longer a thing of, talking about it. Apparently, whatever was going on between her campaign and the Rogan camp has been worked out. She's going on Joe Rogan. Okay. And the reason that I know this, the Porch Hounds got their hands on a snippet of the interview. It's not the whole thing, obviously, but they got their hand. I don't know how they did it, but the Porch Hounds got their hands on a snippet of the interview. Okay. So we know for sure that Kamala is going on Joe Rogan. As a matter of fact, because I love you, my audience, so much, I'm going to play part of it for you. This runs about 2 minutes. Here is a little bit of what is going to be the interview between Kamala Harris and Joe Rogan. As always, give me a sound check. Let me know everything is coming through okay. And here you go.
Joe, Donald Trump is literally Adolf Hitler.
You really think that? I don't know. I had him on, and it didn't feel like I was talking to Hitler.
Joe, what more evidence do you need? He's having a rally at Madison Square Garden that is just like the Nazi rally that happened there in 1939.
How is it like a Nazi rally?
Donald Trump is going to be speaking in front of 20,000 people, Joe.
And what makes them Nazis?
Because they're going to see a Nazi speak.
So you think that because he's a Nazi, if people go see him, that's a Nazi rally?
I can't believe I'm sitting in the same chair Hitler sat in.
You're really going hard on this Hitler thing, huh?
Joe, he said there were very fine people on both sides at Charlottesville.
Yeah, but he specifically said that didn't apply to the Nazis.
I like my version better.
His grandkids are Orthodox Jews.
And once he's in power, he's going to round them up.
He's going to round up his own grandkids and do what? Take them to Disney?
Probably some kind of work camp, maybe worse. Did I mention no tax on tips?
Yeah, you stole that from Trump.
Joe, he's a fascist. He's basically like one of those Russian nesting dolls where he's the big one. And then inside him is Mussolini. And inside that one is Hitler. And inside that one is Pol Pot. And inside that one is Putin. And inside that one is Kim Jong-il.
So is that your platform now? Basically just he's Hitler until election day?
That and joy.
Hitler and joy?
And no income tax. I just made that up right here.
Do you have any original ideas?
I thought the nesting doll thing was pretty good.
If you like that, make sure to subscribe and
See, folks, never let it be said that the electronic front porch is not working to try and get you the most up-to-date 411, the scoop on everything. So, there you go. It's going to happen, folks. It is going to happen. So, there you go. All right. And we'll be talking about that Madison Square Garden event here momentarily. So, TBA says, so Trump is a Russian nesting doll? Who knew? Really? Just amazing. Oh, my goodness. Goodness me. All right. I got to thank WWG1 for a couple of memes here at the start of the show. And again, reverberations to this day still off of Donald Trump's appearance at McDonald's. WWG1 passed this along. I work at McDonald's and we have these little cards that we give to customers when we fuck up their order that lets them redeem the card for a free Big Mac. But just recently, we received a box of these special coins. They are going to serve the same purpose. If you have one of the coins, you can exchange it for a Big Mac. It's the 50th anniversary of the Big Mac. Now I'm far from an economics expert, so this may be just a stupid question, but since our money has no value anymore, and since it's taken off the gold standard, whereas these coins from McDonald's are backed by Big Macs, does that make them the more stable currency than our own money? WWG1, that's a very good question. If these coins let you buy something at McDonald's, but the coins are backed by a Big Mac sandwich, does that mean that currency is now the equivalent of a Big Mac? I don't know, but it is food for thought. So thank you for bringing that philosophical contemplation to our consideration. All right. You've heard of Poxitani Phil, that if you see his shadow, that means you have X number more weeks of winter, correct? Well, apparently, we now also have Dave the Dotson. And when Dave the Dotson is out, if you see his shadow, that means we're going to have 4 more years of Trump. And folks, I'm just saying, check out that shadow. This dog may be onto something. I mean, really, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. So, thank you, WWG1, for those. Let's see, what else do we have here? A couple from Gypsy. Thank you very much for all of these, by the way. Yeah, truly, it is the economy. You know, who knew McDonald's would run the world someday? And very true on this. Very true. The Porsche's got the scoop on the dash hounds. You know, those Porsche hounds, you gotta love them. All right. I'm just going to pop this up here and let it speak for itself. Wow. I can kind of see why Nancy Pelosi would have the basis for a lawsuit over trademark infringement. Hadn't really considered it before, but now upon giving that a bigger look, interesting indeed. True. Yes. Scoop up after your hounds, especially if your hounds have gotten the scoop. Just saying. Let's see. What else do we have here? Well, going back to that breaking news about Joe Rogan, there is one other thing I forgot to tell you guys. Unlike Donald Trump, apparently Joe Rogan did allow for a certain amount of assistance for Kamala. I guess it was something they worked out in the negotiations. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think this was fair. I really don't think that this was fair. I don't understand why Joe Rogan is allowing her any type of assistance for this interview. I mean, to me, that just seems really, really unfair. I don't know, guys. Just seems not right. Just not right to me. I mean, why in God's name would she need a teleprompter to go on Joe Rogan? I ask you. I don't know. All right. Thank you for those, Gypsy. We do appreciate it. And men, for those of you out in the audience who are married and y'all have at one time or another got into a disagreement with your spouse, I'd like a show of hands in the chat. Does it not seem like there's a universal expression that comes across the face of married men when at a certain point in the conversation you realize it doesn't matter what I say here, it's just I'm not going to win? Well, needless to say, at some point during his interview with Kamala Harris, I think Brett Baier may have been displaying the same look on his face. I don't know, guys. That is the look of a man who realizes it doesn't matter what I say here. This is just not going to get any better. So, maybe we all should have taken more pity on Brett Baier during that and not realize the burden that he was operating under. I'm just saying. Poor guy indeed. All right, what else do we have here in the way of the merry memes? Yes. In a campaign, it doesn't matter if it's a campaign for president or governor or senator or congressman or mayor or whatever it is, there is always a certain amount of back and forth that happens between the candidate and the voters. I mean, there are promises made, there are favors that are traded upon, and there are offers that are made as enticements to try to get votes. Some of them are illegal, some of them are legal, some of them are borderline between the two. And apparently, the offer that Kamala Harris is making to the voters is just not working out in her favor because she's not getting quite the reaction that she thought they would. I mean, for example, when she says to them, $50 for whatever you want, baby, they're coming back with a response of, how about dropping out of the presidential race? I don't think that's what she thought she would get when she made that offer. I'm just saying. And by the way, from the looks of things, Kamala needs to get out and get some more sun because, whoo, bless her heart, she's looking pale. She looking pale, man. Bless her heart. I mean, she needs to get some sunshine on her. Dang, get a tan, girl. She just, working way too hard, not getting enough vitamin D or whatever. She looking pale and pasty. My goodness. My goodness indeed. Poor Kamala. Yep. $50 for whatever you want. Me love you long time. Yeah, well, how about if you love me so much, drop out of the presidential race? Like I said, folks, I don't think that's quite what she had in mind. Good evening, Ruben. Good to see you, brother. And Chris from the Morning Mayhem is in here. Hello, brother. Glad to see you here. He's hanging out on the Rumble side with the Wingnuts. Prayers for you, my brother. And Zippy's in the house. And yes, Zippy, I did see you. My friend. So welcome in. Sorry I hadn't had a chance to say hello to you sooner. I mean, for those of you who are arriving late, this stream is already off the rails by a mile due to, bootification efforts on my part to look good for you guys. So apologies in advance for anything that happens tonight. Okay, we got a Hillary Clinton update. As you all know, she is back in the news at various points trying to help out Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party as a senior stateswoman of the party for campaigns and elections and that sort of thing. But there is some good news for Hillary. She's got a book coming out soon, another one actually, and this one actually is a play-by-play, blow-by-blow account of the 2016 election and all the way up to Election Day and even the aftermath of it. Really, it focuses on the time for her between Election Day in 2016 and Donald Trump being sworn in and what her emotional state was like. But I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe they want to rethink the cover on this thing. Or even the working title. It Was My Turn by Hillary Rodham Clinton. Guys, I don't know. Maybe she could have put a more flattering picture on the cover. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know, man. I don't know how that one's going to work out. But yeah, she's got a new book coming out, and there's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, guys, but I detect a certain amount of bitterness in the title of this book. I mean, what do you guys think? You really? That's a good one, Adam. That's good. And over on Rumble, Zippy with a Rumble rant. Rails? What are rails? Are they tasty? I'm a kitty. No human. Human's hurt Brian. LOL. Zippy, I'm glad you're in my audience, but you have a strange dialect for a cat. That's all I'm saying. My goodness. What else do we have here? I have a riddle for you guys. What happens when you take white dudes for Harris and get them into a pumpkin carving contest? Well, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm not so sure if I would put this out as a jack-o'-lantern. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what this white dude for Harris is going to do with that. That to me seems like a very, very strange way to carve a pumpkin. How's that going to work exactly? Maybe you don't think, oh, no. He surely wouldn't. He wouldn't. Okay, we're getting off of that one. Never mind. We're just gonna leave that one alone. Yeah. TBA says that's a great pumpkin. Is that WWG1 says, is that a glory hole? Now, we're not going there, WWG1. Look, what this man does in the privacy of his own home with his jack-o'-lantern is his own business. Okay? Look, I am not going to make assumptions about what he's doing with it. That's just wrong on my part. Well, I don't know what that pumpkin was doing. I don't know. Y'all are just awful indeed. Shoo. TBA says we're already there. Chris says if that's Kamala, it's a cack-o'-lantern. Good one. I like that. Hello, Tiny Tesla. Mwah. Hi, please. I would appreciate prayers for my son Michael. He's 6 years old. Oh, bless his heart. Well, dear heart, you let him know that we are thinking of him and praying for him and for you. And honey, if you got to not be here tonight, or you got to go or pop out or where, don't wait to say goodbye. We get it. So you do what you got to do. But yes, absolutely, prayers for young Mr. Michael. We thank you for letting us know. We will keep him in our thoughts and prayers. Absolutely. Oh no, you had to go there, Adam. Really? You had to go there. My audience, I love you guys. Yes, absolutely. All right, what else do we have in the way of the merry memes? Oh, by the way, now this one is not anything other than cute, and it's not really even a meme, but I thought you guys would get a kick out of this, especially for those of you out there in the audience who love children. As we are now getting closer to Halloween, everybody is trying to figure out, especially for kids, what kind of costume do you decorate them with, or do they let themselves dress up as? Maybe is the better way of saying it. And apparently one conservative family came up with a very cool idea about what to do to help out their child as far as a Halloween costume. And folks, this one's just plain old adorable. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty daggone good. That really is. That's just really cool. I mean, it really is. Yeah, FNN, Fake News Network. That is great. That, I tell you what, I don't know, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, I don't know who helped this young man came up with the idea for this costume, but that is just great. And like I say, it's not necessarily a meme, but I saw that when I was like, I got to pass this one on to the audience. That's just too cute. That is really just too cute. All right. Last one. And as you all know, the voters have started exercising their right of franchise, and they are. There's a trend going on social media where, people, cast their ballot for president. They're taking pictures of, which I've heard even some people say that you better not be doing that. That might be, putting your ballot at risk or whatever. You just open the door for someone to invalidate your vote if they find out about it, which if we're going to those extremes, I don't know. But anyway, one person found a very interesting way to let everybody know how she voted. And with that, I will share this one with you. Enjoy. So she's coming out of the booth. Okay, that's cool. Oh, she's got a nice t-shirt on. There's Donald Trump. Oh my goodness, there's Donald Trump flipping people off. Oh my God. Well, folks, I think it's pretty safe to say she might be a MAGA voter. I don't know, but, we report, you decide. So there you go. There you go indeed. Oh my goodness. My goodness. My goodness. All right. Let us shift gears to the first topic of the night. But before we do, let's do a real quick commercial since we're already at the top of the hour. My name is Brian Tripp, and I'm the Front Porch Conservative, and you have found your way to Chattin On The Porch. This is a live stream that I do on my channel Monday through Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern. We do a live stream on Saturday mornings from at 10:30 called Front Porch Brunch. We do commentary on politics, culture, humor. We try to do interviews as much and regularly as we can for those souls brave enough to, risk their reputations to come on this channel. And we try and have some fun doing it. I've been doing this now for it's been a little over a year and a half. And the channel has grown. We're on Rumble. We're on YouTube. It's been a load of fun. We just recently passed 250 subscribers on Rumble. We're within an ace of getting to 1,000 on YouTube. We're now sitting on, what was the last count I had? 963. 37 subscribers away. So if you got friends out there that you think that will enjoy this content, please do me a favor and ask them to subscribe, share the link with them, and give a thumb. Yeah, I think it was it was it's TBA. Strike that like button with effort. Absolutely. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube and on Rumble. Leave a comment in chat. Share the link around. Go crazy, as the legendary Jack Buck used to say. And let's grow this thing into something big, wonderful, and amazing. And with that, I say thank you. All right. Speaking of big, wonderful, and amazing, Madison Square Garden, Sunday, October 27th. It will go down in political history in America as one of the biggest events ever. And I say that without giving too much hyperbole. I do my best whenever there are things like this to try and keep it in perspective. I told you guys on Saturday, I do my best to try to not get caught up in the hype. That said, however, there's no way you can't help but get caught up in what happened on Sunday because it lived up to everything that it was billed to be. Tons of speakers, one of the biggest venues in America, one of the most easily recognized venues in the whole world. This place has hosted the Knicks, the Islanders. It's hosted Frank Sinatra concerts, Billy Graham revivals, political conventions, you name it. It's happened there. And as I say, this is something extraordinary to watch. And just to give you a flavor, now the seating capacity inside Madison Square Garden, if they really push the issue, is 20,000. Folks, this young lady who's finishing the national anthem. I want you to look. There is not an empty seat in the place. Okay? Yeah, there might be some stuff down here, but trust me, that's all that way around. 20,000 people all over Madison Square Garden. And like I say, it was loud. It was rowdy. People were having fun. It was just joyous. Now, lest you think that 20,000 was big, let me show you something else. There were estimates, and the estimates on this I heard ranged anywhere from, on the low end, 10 to 20,000. On the high end, I heard as much as 75,000 people outside Madison Square Garden. Okay, so stop and think about this for just a second. You got 20,000 people in the arena itself, which, by the way, people were in line to get in at midnight prior. Okay, 12:01 a.m. Sunday morning, people were camped out in sleeping bags or whatever they were doing just to be the first people through the door. Okay. And not only did they fill the arena, but according to reports, like I said, I mean, this is from Tony Saruga, who is a big data pioneer, done all kinds of different things, worked for the CIA, the NSA, etc. According to his estimate, by GPS tracking, there were a total of 98,000 mobile devices either were at or in the immediate vicinity of Trump's Madison Square Garden rally. So you figure 20,000 on the inside, and that means if you go by his estimate, you're talking about a good 75, 80,000 people on the outside of the venue. This was one of the biggest parties that New York City has seen in a hell of a long time. And by the way, and if anybody's heard about something different, set me straight. But to the best of my knowledge, there were no police incidents outside of the garden. I mean, people were just there to have fun. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, look, can you imagine if you're a New York City cop, and trust me, those guys have seen it all, and whatever pay they're getting, believe me, those guys earn it, okay? But can you imagine being told by your precinct captain or your desk sergeant or whatever, guys, you guys are going to go down to this garden for this Trump event. You guys are going to be working outside the arena. Now, in the back of your mind, you got to be going, oh, man, these crazy MAGA people. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this. What if we get a riot or something going? What if somebody showed? No, none of that. None of that. According to reports, and again, if I'm wrong, if you guys have heard differently, please feel free to share the link. But to the best of my knowledge, there were no incidents with the police or that the police had to be involved in outside of Madison Square Garden. This was one of the biggest parties New York City has had, like I couldn't tell you in how long. And New York City knows how to party, okay? They do things big, grand, huge scale. People were hanging out in bars. They were hanging out on the streets. They were singing, they were dancing, talking, laughing, and this thing started officially at 5:30. I think Trump took the stage, I want to say maybe somewhere between 7:30 and 7:45. They had a row of speakers. This was a murderer's row. Tucker Carlson was there. Elon was there. Dr. Phil was there. Hulk Hogan was there. Alina Habba was there. Tulsi Gabbard. Robert Kennedy Jr. Melania Trump showed up. Eric Trump. Donald Jr. And then the big fella came out to close it out. It was just a joy. It was a giant party. And believe me, New Yorkers know how to party. They really do. They call it the Big Apple for a reason. See, you had 20,000 on the, and when I say it's a party, look at this picture. This is backstage. Trump is arm wrestling Hulk Hogan. They're having fun. People are laughing. They're enjoying themselves. They're just having a good time. And you would kind of expect this out of Trump, but everybody in the country was just absolutely, or at least there at that venue. And even if you were watching by television, if you're a Trump supporter, man, this had to do your heart good. I mean, look, laying aside, the concern and the feelings that people have toward Donald Trump, not just a candidate, but as a man, okay? MAGA has gone through a lot. the ups and downs emotionally that is this campaign and in the times and trials of one Donald J. Trump. And to be able to see something like this happen in New York City, one of the bluest blue places in the whole daggone country, right? You had 100,000 people coming into the heart of the belly of the beast for the Democrat machine and basically looking at the Democrat establishment and going, Trump 2024, baby. Oh, I agree. Absolutely awesome to see her there. And Zippy, you're right. This was a party of joy. Absolutely. People were having fun. I got something here. There was a group of Jewish guys outside of Madison Square Garden. I don't know if they were in line to go in or they were just hanging out there before the event started. But check this out. I mean, these are Jewish people, Jewish supporters of Donald Trump. Look at this. I mean, people jumping around, they're singing, they're laughing. And there were Muslims there too, which, by the way, it goes back to something I said. You would think if you're a cop who's got to cover this event, you're thinking, man, we're going to have Jewish people down there. We're going to have Palestinian people down there. These MAGA people, they got a reputation. I don't know, man. We might have to call it the riot troops or whatever. Nothing of the sort. People were just, like I said, they were in bars, they were on the streets, they were dancing, they were laughing, they were having a good time. They were in the Madison Square Garden, they were outside the Madison Square Garden, they were in bars across the street, whatever. They just want to get down and have fun. Really. They just want to have fun. Now, I have a question for those of you who have the bravery to go to a Democrat event. And I'm serious with this question. I really do mean it. Okay. Can you honestly say, with all the honesty in your heart, no bias, no nothing, okay? Can you honestly say that the same amount of fun is had at a Kamala Harris event or a Democrat event in general, okay? Be it governor or Senate race or whatever it is. Can you honestly say that there's as much fun there as what was had at that Trump rally? Now, granted, this thing was an event for all events' sake, okay? A blue slew of speakers, a murderer's row of the conservative thought process in America, all right? And it's Madison Square Garden. You know they're going to have fun. But can you honestly say that you have seen this kind of energy, this kind of passion, this kind of just genuine, let me use your word, Democrats, joy? Can you say that you've ever seen this kind of joy at a Democrat event? I can't. I can't say that at all. It's remarkable to me. It really is. Genuinely remarkable. Never seen anything quite like it at all. And then, and I could play 1,000,001 clips from the speakers that were at this event. But I will play one, and it's, to me, the most appropriate. It's the way Donald Trump wrapped up his speech. Which, by the way, Trump knows his audience. And I say, I'm not saying that the way I should, but here's what I'm getting at. If you've ever watched Donald Trump's speech, you notice a lot of weaving. He'll be reading off the teleprompter, but he'll weave in a lot of stuff for primarily the entertainment of his audience. Okay. That audience, that 20,000 people inside Madison Square Garden had listened to speaker after speaker after speaker after speaker. When Trump gave his speech, by and large, he ad-libbed a little bit, but not very much. he realized that they had come here to see him. And I will make an argument. Trump's speech, the fact that he stuck to script, if I may use that word, is a reflection of two things. Number one, he's in the last week. He's focused. He is like, I got to get my message out. I'm getting my message, and boom, we're doing it. Okay. The second thing is he's like, okay, bless their hearts. These people have been here for hours today. Let's do this thing. Let's give them a great speech, and let's let them all go home. So with that, of all the speakers, we're going to play the last of Donald Trump's speech at Madison Square Garden, the culmination of a major political event in the 2024 campaign, and I can make an argument, one of the biggest political events that Madison Square Garden has hosted in a very long time. Here you go.
The nation that we all love.
And I'm sorry for the low audio, folks.
We bleed the same blood. We share the same home, and we salute the same great American flag. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever back down, and we will never, ever, ever, ever surrender. Together we will fight, 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 and we will win, win, win. We're going to win, win, win. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, New York. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Again, apologies for the low volume on that. I tried to find a clip, but that was the best one I could find. You guys can't hear anything? Okay, hang on a minute. Let me do something real fast. Let me see if I can improve this situation here a little bit. I don't know what's going on. Hang on, let me try something. Don't know what's up here. Volume's up all the way. We're on speaker mode. Let me see if there's anything else that's going on here. Let me check the settings. Audio. See if we can crank this thing up. Okay, I've got it. I've got it as high as I can get it, folks. So apologies in advance. Test sound in another tab. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Okay, it must have been just that one because I'm hearing the other one come through. Okay, sorry about that, folks. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure why either. Okay, all right. So WWG1 says I'm cranked up I'm cranked up in a lot of ways, but that's okay. So yeah, for those of you who didn't hear Trump's speech the other day, I really recommend it to you. This was an absolute party. And even the mainstream media realized what this event was. I've got a clip here from Jonathan Karl talking with George Stephanopoulos on Good Morning America. And even the mainstream media, a lot of them, realized what this event was. With that, do me a favor, folks, check this out and tell me if the sound's a little bit better on this one.
Look, I was there for about 6 hours yesterday. First thing I've got to say, Madison Square Garden was packed. People waited hours to get in. They sat through hour after hour of this rally. They were fervent in their devotion to all things Trump. Trump has created a movement. There is no doubt. I cannot think of another Republican figure of my lifetime who could have come into a Democratic city like New York and put together anything like that. Look, I was there for about 6 hours.
Yeah, I mean, even the mainstream media realizes what that event was. It was a absolute party. Now, I say some in the media realized what it was. Lest you think that the media got a case of religion yesterday, such that all of them reported quite fairly what this was. Not so much. MSNBC, as you might suspect, not very fair at all. And I want to get into this. Listen to how they describe this event.
But that jamboree happening right now, you see it there on your screen, in that place is particularly chilling because in 1939, more than 20,000 supporters of a different fascist leader, Adolf Hitler, packed the garden for a so-called pro-America rally. A rally where speakers voiced anti-Semitic rhetoric from a stage draped with Nazi banners. When a Jewish protester rushed the stage, the Associated Press reported, quote, instantly, a dozen or more stormtroopers set upon him, knocking him down and beating him as he held his head in his arms. Most of his clothing was torn from his body. Later, he was booked for disorderly conduct. Now, against that backdrop of history, Donald Trump, the man who has threatened to use the military against opponents he calls enemies from within, who has threatened to use the troops to quell what he says are lawless cities, and to use those troops to carry out mass deportations of immigrants, is once again turning Madison Square Garden into a staging ground for extremism.
You knew they were going to do it, right? You knew they would. You knew they were going to just Nazi, fascist, everything else. Funny thing is, you had a bunch of Jewish people there and you had a bunch of Muslim people there, Palestinian people there. If he's such a fascist and he's such a Nazi, what were the Jewish people doing there? There's something for your consideration. And you know what? I give some people credit. Eric Adams, and I'm not going to play the clip because the volume on it's real low, and I really don't want to put you guys through that again. Eric Adams gets asked about this. He says, no, I don't think Trump's a Nazi. I don't think they're Nazis at all. They're engaging in political speech. They have the right to do it. But no, the media just couldn't help themselves. And by the way, to you folks out there in the mainstream media, do you really want to go there? Discussions about Madison Square Garden and Nazi gatherings. I mean, if you're going to do that, I mean, you're just going to open the door. I mean, for example, here's Jimmy Carter and Walter Mondale attending a Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden in 1976. Oh my gosh, did you know this about Carter and Mondale? Here's Bill Clinton attending a Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden in 1992. Good grief. Who only knew? Who else have we got here? Oh, well, he's not a Nazi, but some people might think that. I mean, yeah, do you guys really want to go there with this? Really? I mean, I could put up a picture of JFK at the Madison Square Garden. Was he being a Nazi? Really? Unbelievable. It's been almost 10 years since Donald Trump got in the political arena, and the press does not understand him yet. Democrats don't understand him yet. Some, however, on the more liberal side of things, they seem to be getting an idea of what this is all about, although I disagree with the assessment you're about to watch. This got put out on Twitter the other day, and I tell you what, I'm not saying I totally agree with Chris Cuomo on everything, but I tell you what, ever since he left CNN, the boy's been talking with a little bit more sense. Now, maybe it's because he's trying to get himself a better gig. Who knows? But he has seen the light, at least partially. I want you guys to listen to this, because Cuomo almost totally gets it right. This is a very interesting clip. Tell me what you guys think of this.
You got to stop thinking that the people who support Trump are like Trump, that they speak like Trump, that they act like Trump. They don't. They want to hire Trump to do a dirty job. They want him to be a virus to the political corpus. They want him to disrupt, to destroy, to demean those that they disrespect and dislike, the system that they distrust and despise. They want someone to do what they believe has been done to them and that they cannot do themselves. That's why they don't care that he exhibits terrible behavior, because they're putting him into a terrible place. If you're sending somebody into the jungle, do you really care if they're a savage? You see what I'm saying? And you have to understand it that way. You may not agree, you may not accept, you may not like, but that's what it is.
I disagree with him slightly, and I'll tell you why. I think he's right in one sense. He uses the analogy of wanting to hire someone to do a very dirty job. Yeah, you could say that's true about every American president, but it's not just an issue that the American people are hiring him to do a dirty job. They want him to represent them, because they, in the minds of the American people, and I don't think they're wrong in this assessment, by the way, they don't think anybody in the American government is representing them, and hasn't for a very long time. They keep trying, the American people through their votes try to indicate that they want the government to do certain things, yet the government does not respond to the will of the people through their sovereign vote. Along comes Donald Trump, and you got somebody willing to go in his own way as much as he can and blow up the system. So I disagree a little bit with what Cuomo's saying here. We do care about how Donald Trump acts. I think that's fair. But in one sense, we're not necessarily hiring him to do a dirty job. We're hiring him to represent us. So take that for what it's worth. Saw a couple of people pop in the room, and let me say hello to them before we move on to our next topic. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Hello, lovely. Mwah! By the way, your beloved Virginia is getting more and more interesting, by the way. Oh, goodness. I'm seeing some stuff happening there that's really getting interesting. And I also saw who else strolled in the room. Hello, Seabass. Boom. How you doing tonight? Yeah. So, I mean, the Madison Square Garden event was a big, big hit. With one minor caveat, and we'll get to the caveat here in just a second. Now, before I do, let me do a real quick commercial since we're at the bottom of the hour. My name's Brian Trippett. I'm the Front Porch Conservative. If you have happened upon this live stream, you have found something called Chattin On The Porch. We get together Monday through Thursday night at 7:30 Eastern. Lots of different things going on in the news. We talk about politics, culture, anything that happens to hit the brain or we find interesting. When I say we, I am the universal we as host. We are on Rumble, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, so please, if you're not subscribed to my channel, would you please do so? I genuinely appreciate it. While you're at it, why don't you go ahead and hit the thumbs up, leave a comment in chat on both sides, share the link around to your friends. I'm something of an acquired taste as far as a social media content creator, and I get that, but if you've got folks that enjoy the sort of thing that I do, and you think they'd like to watch, share the link and tell them to subscribe. I'll take all the help I can get. And with that, we're going to move on to our next topic of the evening. And this is kind of sort of related to Madison Square Garden. I said that the MSG event for Donald Trump was a huge success, but there's one, as with any great Persian rug, there usually is one tiny flaw in it. And such is the case with what we're going to talk about next. And I don't know if calling what happened was a flaw, as much as it revealed something about the Democrats, the left, and progressives in this country as it relates to their thoughts about free speech. And WWG1 says, yes, he's an acquired taste, much like haggis. How dare you, sir? Haggis? I was thinking more along the lines of filet mignon, but haggis? Really? Ah, jeez. You're just awful over there, WWG1. Just plain old awful. My God. Haggis. Bleh. Bleh. Anyway, among the list of speakers last night was Tony Hinchcliffe. Now, if that name is not familiar to you, you might know him by his social media moniker, Kill Tony. And Tony Hinchcliffe is a stand-up comedian, and a pretty good one. He's got quite a following that he's developed over the years, and he's really good at what he does. I haven't watched a lot of his comedy, but the parts of it I've seen, he can be really good at what he does. He can get some zingers in on you. And he was invited to speak as part of the list of speakers because he's supporting Trump. And he's up there. You got a lot of people talking. You got to trying to put a lot of stuff together. You're trying to hype the crowd, get them going real good, and just have some fun with it. Well, most of his act didn't get him in trouble. I mean, if you've never seen Tony Hinchcliffe or Kill Tony, I mean, let me give you an example of some of his comedy. Here's about a 1:40 clip. This one's pretty good. So here are part of his remarks from yesterday at Madison Square Garden.
Another great Austin, Texas resident, Elon Musk, will be speaking here later today. Unbelievable. Genius. You guys saw him shoot that rocket into outer space, the largest aircraft ever, fires it off into space, and then parallel parks it back to planet Earth. Meanwhile, Kamala supporters can't parallel park their Toyota Priuses properly. Sorry, I listen to Elon Musk. I follow his lead. The world's smartest, richest man has my attention. Except for when it comes to stock trading, then I listen to Nancy Pelosi. But censorship is amongst us, people. It's a very, very, very big deal. And I'm just here to say that you guys are for the right candidate. Tell your friends. Let's close it out. And let's make speech free again. Make America healthy again. Let's beat the team from California. The team from New York should beat the team from California, not only in this election, but in the World Series of Baseball, America's sport. I love you, New York. God bless New York. God bless America. Let's make it great again. I love you. Thank you. Welcome.
Okay, now that's at the tail end of it. And again, most of what he said yesterday was, and by Tony Hinchcliffe standards, he was being tame, okay? Because even he recognized, hey, I got a lot of moms out here. I got kids out here. I kind of got to, can't really turn it loose. He even said as much during his set. However, there is one comment that caused him and the Trump campaign a certain measure of heartburn. Now, in the long run, I don't think this is going to cause nearly the problem that it is being made to cause. Excuse me one second. People are saying, oh my God, I can't believe he said this. How can you believe he was just so rotten and awful and terrible in what he said? Well, that sort of begs the question, what did he say? Well, this clip runs about 20 seconds, okay? And this is the clip that's causing everybody on the left to get a case of the vapors and just fall over and faint. Okay. So with that, check this out. Tell me what you guys think. And, we'll see what's going on here. So let me get this thing pulled up. Sorry about that, folks. Trying to... okay. There we go. All right. And here's the clip.
lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage.
Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah.
Let me start that
It's
over.
called a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. Again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody.
Okay. So that's the clip. And there's a floating island of garbage. It's called the country of Puerto Rico. Zippy says, did you not enable the browser sound in StreamYard? As far as I know, Zippy, it's enabled. As far as I know. Okay. You know, but anyway, so he makes that comment. And needless to say, it took no time whatsoever for people on the left to get offended by this. And one of them was vice presidential candidate Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota. Okay. Oh, and Gypsy, I saw your comment. We're going to hang on to that because we're going to get to that here in just 1 second. So Tim Walz yesterday was on a podcast with AOC that she was hosting on Twitch. And watching this, Tim Walz had to make a comment. Check it out.
These are terrifying.
Absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. No.
Who is that jackwad? Who is that guy?
Actually, I think that's Tony Hinchcliffe, which is super disappointing. I mean, I don't. He's a comedian. I don't
Yeah, but
follow
look,
this
Trump,
like
this
crew
issue
very
with Puerto
closely,
Rico
but-
again. I saw it. This was when he went down after Helene, the horrific hurricane. People there, everybody coming together. We sent helicopters down from Minnesota and personnel. You know how you do this during this. And in the first hours, Trump complaining about the response. Does anybody remember how he responded to Maria in Puerto Rico?
Don't go there, big boy. Don't go there because you're about to make a mistake. But this was been going on all day ever since Kill Tony dropped that comment. Okay, I've got some things to talk about with this. All right. To you folks out there on the left, I have a 4-word response to what Tony Hinchcliffe said about Puerto Rico. Listen to me very carefully. He made a joke. That is what Tony Hinchcliffe did. He made a joke. That's all. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't grape somebody. He didn't rob someone. He didn't steal from them. He didn't defraud anybody. He didn't kidnap a kid. He didn't engage in trafficking. He made a joke. He engaged in free speech. That's it. That's all he did. Chris from Morning Man stepped away for a second. Which joke? The one about the island of trash or the one about the black dude carving watermelons? The island of trash. That's the one we're talking about. Good point. He could have said the island of trash was California. Good point. He made a joke. And by the way, to the comedy community out there, his brothers and sisters, I want to give you guys an applause right now. Okay? Chrissy Mayer, a whole bunch of people have been coming to Tony Hinchcliffe's defense in this. And number one, well, they should. And number two, they're justified in doing so. He made a joke. And like all good jokes, there is a kernel of truth in what he said. I've got an article here. Now, this goes back a few years, but there is truth in what Tony Hinchcliffe said. And before I pull this up, let me get these Rumble rants in. Zippy says, with one Rumble rant, Elon is not smart, neither is Trump. However, they are wise. They hire smart people. It rubs off. I don't know if I agree with you about Elon and Trump not being smart. But yeah, they do hire smart people, and thank you for the Rumble rant. Another Rumble rant from Zippy. New York is an island of trash. Are you not entertained? Good point. Good point. Oh, Seabass, I saw that. I saw that, brother. You just hang on to that right there, okay? Hinchcliffe kind of reminded everybody of something about Puerto Rico that everybody has known to be true for years. And if you don't believe me, check out this article from NPR. After Hurricane Maria, Puerto Rico struggles under the weight of its own garbage. Article written by Merritt Kennedy and Lauren Migagi. We've got the following. Outside Puerto Rico's capital, a 3-story high mountain of debris and waste sits smack in the middle of what was a suburban soccer field before Hurricane Maria devastated the island. Blue bleachers peek out from the edge of the trash pile as a line of trucks roll in to dump even more tree branches and moldy furniture. Workmen wearing yellow hard hats operate diggers to add the new waste to the growing pile in the center of the field. Puerto Rico is struggling under the weight of its own garbage. Now listen to this. Even before Maria hit in September, the Environmental Protection Agency says most of the island's landfills were filled beyond capacity and were nearly half were under orders to close. Puerto Rico's Solid Waste Authority estimates the powerful hurricane created 6.2 million cubic yards of waste and debris. That's enough trash to fill about 43 football stadiums with piles of waste 8 stories high, according to a measure used by FEMA. And it has to go somewhere. Folks, are you hearing what NPR is saying in this article? Even before Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, and this was 7 years ago, okay? Puerto Rico had a horrible reputation for just not being able to manage waste effectively. I mean, let me read this again. Even before Hurricane Maria hit in September 2017, the EPA says most of the island's landfills were filled beyond capacity and nearly half were under orders to close. What did Tony Hinchcliffe say with that joke that people haven't known about Puerto Rico for years? Now, granted, this article deals with the question of, post-Hurricane Maria, which, by the way, Democrats have been griping for years about how Trump responded to Hurricane Maria. May I respectfully remind you, Democrats, that Trump sent aid down there and the governor of Puerto Rico was hiding it in warehouses and not distributing it. That is a true story. That is factual. That can be proven. Okay, so please don't give me this crap about how Donald Trump responded to Hurricane Maria back in 2017. He responded appropriately. The governor of the island wouldn't distribute the materials that the federal government was bringing down there to help Puerto Rico get through Hurricane Maria. Okay, so let's get real here for a second. So I'll ask the question again to you folks out there on the left. Please explain to me what Tony Hinchcliffe said in his joke that wasn't at least in part truth. I'm waiting. Nothing? You're right. And there's a reason why you can't do that, because you know he's right. You just don't want to admit it. You're using one line from probably a 5-minute stand-up routine that Tony Hinchcliffe did at a Republican event to use it against Donald Trump. Yeah, and honestly, this is probably true. That's probably true. Good point, Adam. Can't disagree with that either. But yeah, I mean, the joke didn't even land. Even the audience went, ooh. And even he admitted, okay, look, it's not often I follow. He's trying to get his way out of it. Look, it's not often I follow somebody singing the national anthem. Give me a break. I mean, he was trying to liven it up. He realized he'd stepped in one. And the part that kills me about this, and Tony Hinchcliffe responded to this controversy, by the way. So on Twitter yesterday, he says, these people have no sense of humor. Wild that a vice presidential candidate would take time out of his, quote, busy schedule to analyze a joke taken out of context to make it seem racist. I love Puerto Rico and I vacation there. I made fun of everyone. Watch the whole set. I'm a comedian, Tim. Might be time to change your tampon. He told a joke. He exercised his right to free speech. Now, the Trump campaign, and I get why they did it. They said, look, we don't agree with what Mr. Hinchcliffe said. I get it. Okay. Of course, Trump has called African nations shitholes before, so yeah, okay. But I get why they did it. I don't necessarily like it, but I get why they did it. But Tony Hinchcliffe didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, he made a joke that didn't land. Guess what? It happens to comedians. I mean, ask Chrissy Mayer. She'll tell you there are moments when she's done stand-up and there are jokes that don't land. Ask Gino Bisconti. Ask Keanu Thompson. Ask Anthony Cumia. Ask any stand-up comedian you have ever seen. Ask Tracy. She's done jokes before doing stand-up. Tracy from Gen X Marks the Spot. She's done stand-up before. She'll tell you there are jokes that you make, they don't land. He made a joke that is in part based on truth. And what are the Democrats doing with it? They are so absolutely desperate. They are turning this thing around and trying to use it against him. And Jessica, good evening, my dear. Mwah. Glad to see you sashay into the room, as always. I'm keeping it together, folks. Really, she may have just walked in the room, but I'm keeping it together here. Really, I'm keeping it together. I'm keeping it together. I'm keeping it together. But he told a joke. Some people found it funny. Some people didn't find it funny. He told a joke based in part on the truth. And like he said, he takes shots at everyone. Okay? He took a shot at a guy that, frankly, it was a joke. And by the way, I think it was Seabass who brought this up. There have been comedians who have done worse than that. I take you back to 1984. The pre-inauguration events in Washington, D.C. The late Don Rickles strolls up to the stage. Now, for those of you in here who are younger and you never saw a set that Don Rickles did, his nickname was the King of Mean. Okay? Don Rickles was an equal opportunity offender. He would roast everybody. Okay? Now, let me set this up so you understand the context about what you're about to see. So, a young actor named Webster, he was an African-American kid. He was, maybe about 2.5, 3 feet tall. I mean, So he's up on stage, he's entertaining the crowd, whatever. Well, anyway, Rickles follows Webster. All right. And with that, I mean, if you lefties out there think that Tony Hinchcliffe was bad, let me show you something that should give you an idea. You got off easy yesterday. Check this out.
Be funny.
First black kid I ever saw that'll definitely never play basketball.
Oh my God! He insulted a black kid. First of all, he made fun of his race, and second of all, he said he's never going to play basketball, which means not only that, he thinks he's short. So he insulted a kid who's black who happens to be short. Oh my God! Call the police! Call the thought police! Dig up the grave of Don Rickles! Burn his bones! Don Rickles told a joke. Oh, Emmanuel Lewis. That's right. Chris, you did interview him. Chris from the Morning Mayhem over on Rumble says, that was Emmanuel Lewis. I interviewed him. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I'd forgotten you had mentioned that to me. I forgot about that. Yeah. Emmanuel Lewis, who played the role of Webster. Yeah, here's a great point for all those lefties out there. Buy a copy of Blazing Saddles and let's see how much you want to talk about being offended. You want to hear? I'll give you a little bit more of this whole Don Rickles. I mean, I'll play just maybe a few more, maybe another minute and a half of it, but you'll get my point. I mean, Rickles is like equal opportunity offender here. Check it out.
I asked you, huh? 40 million stars. I get a little kid out here, doesn't know what time it is, and brings me out. You're standing here with the band with the same cockamamie music. Da, 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 da. Try to learn it. The president's here. This is a big shot for me. Last night we had Bush. Well, I'll tell you this. He was great. Did you see him and the wife after the show? He was in the lobby going, nobody knows me. I gave him a cookie. He went away. He didn't know what time it was. I'll be with you in a minute. I'll tell you this. Just see some of his movies? Stiffs. I'll tell you this. How this guy became president. When he was governor, I couldn't get in touch with him. I had a cousin, did 3 months in the county jail. I made a phone call. I said, give me a break. He was too busy, tied up, wouldn't make the... He's now doing 14 years, and he's the president of the United States, sitting in the White House with Nancy, walking around going, Art Rickles' cousin is doing a lot of time. Good evening, Mr. President. Nice to see you, sir. And your lovely wife, Nancy. It's a big treat for me to fly all the way from California to be here for this kind of money. See, I still got the tuxedo marked down. Anyway, you need 38 tags to get in here. 38 tags. The Secret Service is walking around the lobby. Did you see the president? Anybody see the president? Where's the president? The president's with Nancy in the hall going, let's try it one more time. Remember when you were governor and you used to walk over to my table? Now you're big and you're getting on my nerves. I'll tell you this.
This is what Rickles used to do. Yeah, exactly. Reagan's sitting there laughing about it. He's being roasted by this guy in front of the entire Washington establishment back then in the day. And he's laughing about it. Why? Because everybody understood it's a joke. That's all it is. It's a joke. Really? Don Rickles. Now, what is that? 94, 04, 14, 20, 40 years ago is doing what Tony Hinchcliffe did in 5 minutes at Madison Square Garden. He's telling a joke. The difference then was people wouldn't try and get you canceled for it. They understood. This is Rickles. This is part of his act. They were jokes. Tony Hinchcliffe makes 5 minutes worth of jokes, and the left is trying to crucify the guy. And by extension, they're going after Trump on this. Yeah, how many great Richard Pryor, great comedian. Hang on a minute. Let's get this thing working right. Richard Pryor, Kinnison, Blazing Saddles. They were jokes, people. And frankly, you guys on the left really want to go after this? Really? You really want to do it? And the irony of Tony Hinchcliffe's comment can be summed up in a meme. Democrats, a comedian at a Trump rally made a joke about Puerto Rico. Puerto Ricans, I don't care. Now, lest you think that I'm being a little bit more than dramatic with that meme, I got a clip here from a couple of young ladies after the event was over. They're New Yorkers. They're Puerto Rican by descent. Guess what? They weren't all that worried about Tony Hinchcliffe. Check this out.
We like jokes. We like jokes. We do.
And we understand the importance of a comedian having the freedom to push the envelope, because that's always been what has separated comedians from like everyday folks, right? Where they can push the envelope to either make you laugh or make you think or challenge you, right? But
Pero, because obviously we're such proud Puerto Ricans, I will say that it is not a little floating pile of trash. This beautiful island filled with beautiful people that love the beautiful islands, and it's okay to have different opinions. That's what makes America great, that people could just have different opinions. So you know what? We're not offended. Did we like the joke?
No,
I didn't like the joke.
I didn't like
I
the
don't even
joke.
think the crowd that he bombed that joke.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. Don't get me wrong. At
I
first,
think
I'm
the
like,
joke
wow, that's
in
crazy,
New York
but-
City maybe was not like in the right landing.
Probably right. Probably
But
not
was
the
the
right
right
thing.
landing.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're even sitting there saying it. All right, we didn't really like the joke, but it was funny. They're not getting bent out of shape about this. They're okay with it. And they're okay with it because they understand the most important thing about the situation. It's free speech. I mean, this is one of the things that's been driving comedians, particularly, folks, and not even on the right. I mean, just basically libertarian. Okay. Gino Bisconti, Anthony Cumia, just people that I know of. Chrissy Mayer falls in this category. All they want to do are tell jokes. Some of them land, some of them don't. Some of them people laugh at, some of them people don't laugh at. But they should have the right to say it. Tony Hinchcliffe made a joke that for most people at Madison Square Garden didn't land. A lot of them didn't think it was all that funny. But he's got the right to say it. Or more to the point, he should have the right to say it. It's just incredible to me. And frankly, you Democrats out there, if you're going to go here, you're going to go somewhere with this? Hey, when are you going to call out George Lopez? Oh, you wonder what I'm talking about? Over the weekend, he's attending a rally on behalf of Kamala Harris. Did you guys hear this little wonderful missive? Check this out.
Donald Trump said he was going to build a wall, and George Lopez said, you better build it in one day, because if you leave that material out there overnight.
So what are you saying there, George? Are you saying Mexicans are going to steal the building material to make the wall? Really? Really? We're going to go here? Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Just ridiculous what's going on here. I mean, so George Lopez gets to make jokes about Mexicans or people on border towns stealing the material, and nothing happens to him because he's doing that on behalf of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And Tony Hinchcliffe makes a comment about Puerto Rico, and everybody on the left is freaking out. Really? Really? You Democrats want to go here? I got more where that came from. I got more. You guys remember Jill Biden's wonderful comment a while back? You guys remember this one? If you don't, oh, here you go. Let's take a trip down memory lane.
But we can't get those things on our own. Raul helped build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio.
Breakfast tacos? Really? The breakfast tacos here in San Antonio. Okay. Well, thanks a lot. Yeah, exactly. The pronunciation of that word is just, unbelievable. one more comment on this whole thing, and it's brought up by Konstantin Kissen, who is one of the hosts of the Trigonometry podcast, and he makes a very valid point. Just remember, all the people melting down about Tony Hinchcliffe's jokes spent years telling you there's no such thing as cancel culture and there's no problem with free speech in comedy. I'm going to read that again. Just remember, all the people in full meltdown about Tony Hinchcliffe's jokes spent years telling you there is no such thing as cancel culture and there is no problem with free speech in comedy. With all due respect to you folks out there on the left, yes, there is such a thing as cancel culture, and you just proved it. You're going after Tony Hinchcliffe because he made a joke. To some people, it wasn't even a particularly good joke. Some people found it funny. Some people didn't. It didn't really land in the venue that he made the joke in. He even knew it after he made the joke. He joked about making the joke. He exercised his free speech. And you know what? For people of Puerto Rican descent who were there, they didn't really get all that bent out of shape about it. Some of them thought it was funny. Some of them didn't. And they just didn't care. You know why? Because they knew it was a joke. Anyway, that's my commentary on the whole thing. Just thought I'd share that with you guys. It's stuff like that that just torques me off royally. Just royally. WWG1 says, some of my jokes bomb too, but in my defense, they're all aimed at Brian. And well, just to let you know, sir, yes, they should bomb if they're aimed at me. Thank you very much. Just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Anyway, all right, I tell you what. One last quick commercial, and then we'll head into the Nightcap section. My name is Brian Trippett. This is Chattin On The Porch. We get together on Rumble, on Twitter, and YouTube Monday through Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern. I've got a channel on Rumble and YouTube. So if you're not subscribed, give a sub, hit the thumbs up, do all those things that you do. You guys are just amazingly awesome. And thank you for being subscribers to the channel. Thank you for being a part of Fedora Nation, which is without question the smartest and funniest audience on the internet. You guys are just extraordinary. I mean, we've got people from America, from Great Britain, from Canada. It just blows my mind, the reach of this little live stream. And you guys you blow my mind. You really do. Thank you for being really the best audience on the internet. All right. Couple of things here, and we'll go ahead and call it a night. Well, two more. I forgot that some couple of memes that the WWG1 sent me. And this whole Tony Hinchcliffe thing is apparently they think that they've got old Trump this time because, you know, the haters, well, Trump's out there on the plank. But as is usually happens, they saw the plank and Trump hasn't gone down to the water. There you go. Minmo, and hello, Minmo. I'm sorry I hadn't said hello to you. Have you seen the videos of Alexa saying that there won't be a winner of the election due to the War Powers Act initiative that allegedly will be implemented? Because no, I have not seen that. I have not seen that, and I'm sorry that I hadn't responded to you sooner because I saw where you had asked that question earlier. My apologies, but no, I have not seen that yet. Shoot it to me. Shoot it to me. We'll try and take a look at it. But I have not seen that at all. So yeah. There's that. All right. Couple of really cute things. Three of them actually. And you guys remember the spider video that WG1 sent? Well, he sent another one to go along with it, and I will play this. Compliments of WWG1 Enjoy. Oh, goodness, OWG1. A shorter version of what we saw last week. You are awful with this, sir. You are just awful. But I love you. All right. Yeah, it's a rerun. I know. But, you know, he sent it. What can I tell you? Okay. These are by way of some funnies. As it's the Halloween season, kids are trying to figure out again what they're trying to want to do for costumes. And some families came up with a really good idea, and this one's not anything other than just plain old cute. So I play this one for your benefit. Enjoy. Let me drop the music lest I get in trouble with YouTube. Yeah, here is the, quote, Secret Service. And look at this. Shirt and tie T-shirts, and they are guarding Mr. Trump. That is just too cute. I saw that earlier. I was like, man, that's just funny. That is funny. And matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, I'll share this one with you guys. If you want to share this one around the internet, I think you guys will enjoy it. Your friends will too. So there it is on the YouTube side, and here it comes on the Rumble side. All right, last one, and I found this today, and I can't help but keep watching this because to me, this one is just too stinking funny. Brendan Dilley and the meme team. I tell you what, I don't know how those cats come up with the stuff that they do. But I tell you, every time you turn around, we're getting polling out of different places, and it's amazing what's going on. Hello, Miss Leah. Mwah! Hello, baby. We're getting polling out of everywhere. It's getting tight in respective states. I saw some numbers coming out of New Jersey that kind of blew my mind. And that leads to our last thing of the night. I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. Even the Sopranos are getting in on this election season. And with that, enjoy.
Listen up, Jersey. Election day is next week, and I don't got to tell you what it means to this family. So be smart about it. Go vote early. Avoid the whole line thing. You do it on your time, no rush, in and out, bada bing, bada boom. But if you even think about not voting, forget about it. In this family, we get off our ass and vote for the guy that took every punch, lie, indictment, even a bullet to his fucking head just to make this country great again. That's our guy. We're Americans, and I'll be damned if we let a bunch of freaks destroy what our ancestors built. Fuck out of here. Now go do what you gotta do and vote early, vote strong, vote Trump. Or else.
God, I love that one. I absolutely love it. Like I say, I will share that one both on YouTube and on Rumble. That's just great. Just absolutely great. Anyway, with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Apologies for the kind of not exactly up to my normal front porch standards, but appreciate you guys tolerating me anyway. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. And by the way, remember, Tracy from Gen X Marks the Spot will be here this Wednesday night. We're going to bounce some topics back and forth off of each other, as we are a wont to do. And can't wait for that. Love it when Tracy shows up on the channel. And with that, folks, we'll be back tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. You guys have a great Monday evening. And I will take a look at that WWG1. I will indeed. So with that, folks, you guys have a great night. Remember to hit the thumbs up on the way out. Subscribe if you're not currently a member of Fedora Nation. And we'll see you tomorrow night, 7:30. And remember, it's faster horses, younger lovers, older whiskey, and more money. We love you guys, and you have a great night.